Ashwin, can I have some coffee from your farm, please?
Why not?
Awesome.
You can have this.
Good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll start, yeah? Acha, it's rolling, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are here at Gorus Farm in Mulshi on the outskirts of Pune. And I'm Nitin. People know me as the Beards Brew. I have my own podcast channel that I do every Sunday, 1 p.m. And I've been into coffee for over a decade and a half. And today, joining me to host the show is Caleb from Vivace Cafe. He has an AST, a certified trainer from SCA, which is a governing body of coffee from the US. And the, the place where we are currently is owned and run by Mr. Ashwin, the man himself who we look up to. And it's a pleasure that we were invited for an overnight stay and to dive deep into the coffee. So over to you, Ashwin.
Thank you, Nitin. Um, I'm really glad all of you could make it. It's a hot April, summer day, and this just tells us how deep these guys are into coffee, and I'm really glad to have all of them on the farm because every person who comes here brings new knowledge, new energy, and that's what keeps the farm going. So I'm here with Caleb and Nitin, and we're going to try to brew the coffee which we grow on this farm with a twist. I think Caleb has some tricks up his sleeve, and he hasn't told us what he's going to do. But while he's preparing the coffee, I will just briefly narrate the story of this coffee because I think it is the stories that not only make the coffee but make us. So the time goes back to 1923 when the British Empire was actually losing a lot of income from their various colonies throughout the world. And the post-war financial depression and loss in income was really worrying the British. And one of the key contributors to the British treasury was agriculture. And in Mesopotamia, which is present-day Iraq, and Yemen and that region of Red Sea, they had several colonies and they just wanted to revive the agriculture there. So my great-grandfather, his name is Haribau Paranjpe, he was working for the Bombay Presidency in 1923 and he was called over there to kind of help them revive the agrarian economy. And he was a strict vegetarian, a very simple man with a very principled life, had never even heard of coffee till then. And during his assignment in Mesopotamia, for the first time he tasted coffee and he really liked it. And being a keen botanist, he traveled around a little bit, scouting for good planting material. And he came back to India with a bunch of seeds, the very few, maybe 8 or 10 seeds, which he planted in his house in Pune city. And that was back in 1923. And since then, this variety of Ethiopian Arabica coffee has been in our family. So this is the centenary year of this coffee, and I'm really happy and grateful to my great-grandfather who had the vision. Maybe he didn't imagine that I'll grow this coffee and bring it to the market one day. But I'm just glad that the story turned out this way, and I'm thankful to him and thankful to the cloud forests of Ethiopia who have nurtured wild Arabica coffees for so many centuries and giving us this opportunity to savor this beautiful coffee in the northern Western Ghats here in Maharashtra.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant, Ashwin. Caleb, I know I gave a very short introduction, but I would want people, to, give yourself a introduction about yourself, about your cafe, and how you got into coffee as well. I mean, yeah.
See, for me, again, first of all, big thank you to Ashwin and Ashwin's family, for bringing us stuff like this.
Right.
For us, I think the Indian coffee scene is hitting the international market, and we want people internationally to know us for good coffee, not just not just the fact that we grow a lot of commercial coffee, but also that we have amazing farmers like Ashwin that put their heart and soul into coffee. And for me, one of the best ways to express that or show that is to run a cafe that honors them.
Correct.
And so we have a cafe, it's called Vivace, and we train orphan kids to become baristas.
Right.
We have our own team, but then also we take in new kids every 6 to 8 months. We train them and then we place them in different cafes. And what we really love about that is coffee has allowed me to be able to give back. It's allowed me to be able to
Give back to the community.
give back to the community, make a change in people's lives, make a change in these kids' lives. And what we're having today is kind of something similar to that. So I'm using a tricklet. As you notice, the drip
Yeah.
is quite slow.
Yeah.
I really want to have a nice extraction, maybe slightly over extracted coffee, very slight. Pardon me for saying that, coffee geeks. But what we're going to do is have, we've got this really lovely frothy milk. We've got some ice cream. And we're going to make this dish that one of my kids thought of in the cafe. And so we want to try that with, some amazing ingredients that we have here. Again, I'm guessing this is the pea berry, right?
Yes, this is pea berry, natural process.
Yeah. Ashwin, with as much as you'd like to share, can you tell us about, in terms of processing, what are you doing here, and what are your thoughts and your plans for, let's say, bringing your brand Wolfzerash, that is, did I pronounce it right?
Wolf Zerash.
Wolfzerash, and bringing that brand to the Indian market. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking in those terms?
Caleb, to tell you the truth, we are a very small coffee farm. So small that I can't even say it's a coffee plantation. I call it a coffee farm.
Correct.
Because all we have is about 2,500 coffee bushes. So although our yield is very small, our idea and belief is quite big.
Yes.
And the idea is to kind of connect environment, nature, and ecology with the coffee connoisseur through the medium of this beautiful coffee, which, besides the sugars and the caramel and the different, flavor profiles, it produces a very, very clean cup.
Correct.
And the reason behind that clean cup is because we don't use any chemicals. We have never used any chemicals on the farm. So the entire process is chemical free. It's hand picked, hand hulled, and hand roasted. Currently in a simple terracotta pot. And we are presently working on a small prototype of a mini roaster. But don't tell anyone I told you that. It's a secret. So it's really a small family farm with deep conviction that if we don't preserve and protect the forests that nurture the coffee plants, we are probably not living in conjunction with nature, in this era of climate change.
Very well said.
It's all right to try out different coffees from different continents,
Different regions, yeah.
different regions, but we have to stay grounded to the fact that we need to protect our forests.
Brilliant.
And being consumers, most people, wonder what I'm saying because I'm just drinking a cup of coffee,
Right.
spending some money and quality time with friends. How am I preserving forests? The simple answer is that by patronizing or by favoring the right kind of coffees that that are produced responsibly, you are automatically conserving forests and ecosystems. So your role as consumers is huge, and I think this is just the beginning of this journey where
Absolutely.
you know uh, people like us coming together. One of the main reasons is that we want to bring you to the coffee plantation, to the forest, to the ecosystem that is providing all this.
Right.
And we always talk about terroir.
Yeah.
That's this new word that's come, like, of how the surrounding ecosystem affects the coffee, and it's very interesting. And we talked about this last time.
Last
I came.
time.
We,
Last night as well, I think.
Yeah, and one of the things that we were discussing was how, for years and years, coffee has been receiving, from nature, and very interestingly, now coffee is in a position to actually protect nature.
Absolutely.
It's in a position to actually create more forests. So, like, I mean, if we have, maybe I might be very bold in saying this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think maybe coffee could be one of the answers to, combat deforestation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And most people will feel this is a crazy statement, but this has become reality now because Arabica coffee actually doesn't grow that well if you don't have a forest cover.
Right.
So all this love and affection for Arabica, and I have nothing against Robusta. It's a beautiful coffee. Robusta too likes a forest ecosystem. So our love for these coffees is going to help preserve the forests, because only if customers appreciate and truly understand the value of this coffee,
Right.
and pay a fair, like an honorable price
Yes.
for these coffees, can farmers then afford
To upgrade their own.
have
Right.
have environmentally friendly systems. We are not forcing the agrarian
Right.
system. We are working within the ecological carrying capacities of ecosystems,
Right.
and we are all partners in this.
True. I mean, last night when we were having a chat, just correct me if I'm wrong. We were discussing about how coffee trees are planted, but then again to nurture them, we also plant different
Shade crops.
different crops to enhance the growth. I mean, could you put some light or shed some light on that?
Yes. So coffee actually is if you go back to the Ethiopian, montane cloud forests where coffee was born or coffee evolved, coffee is an understory crop. Actually, it's not a crop, it's an understory tree. And it likes to grow in the vicinity of a diversity of large trees and shrubs and bushes. It doesn't like to grow alone. It likes company, it likes shade. And therefore, in areas of our farm where we already had a natural stand of forest,
Right.
we haven't done much. We've just added the coffees there, coffee plants. But in areas, in patches where the tree cover wasn't so good,
Right.
we have supplemented that by planting, fruit trees like avocado, mango.
I did see pineapple as well.
Yes, and to kind of use the vertical and horizontal space optimally, we have started growing rhizomes like mango ginger, turmeric,
Wow.
our regular ginger, even tapioca,
Oh,
pineapples like you mentioned, black pepper.
I did see chives as well.
Yes. So because it is a small farm, we have to diversify. We have to have a mix of several crops, and it's also more fun when you have so many crops that you can play with, you can enjoy.
In-house vegetation.
Absolutely. So the farm stay which we have here, for example, gets to use and taste all these different crops that we grow here along with the coffee.
Nice.
And that's the beauty of what is called syntropic or agroforestry. Nowadays, the word syntropic farming is gaining popularity, and it is nothing but
Organic.
trying to mimic the ecological succession that one sees in natural ecosystems,
Okay.
to recreate that at a farm level
Okay.
using plants and species that are economically beneficial.
Makes sense.
Beautiful. And one of the things I really like about that, Ashwin, is what you said is, so now as a consumer, what you're saying is every cup that I drink of coffee, every cup of coffee that I drink, when I source it from a place that has that kind of mindset, I'm actually contributing towards or contributing against deforestation, right?
Absolutely.
Wow, that makes me want to drink more coffee. Not that I need any more reasons, but one more
Yes,
good reason,
sure.
right?
I think Caleb and Nitin, we have to change this perception
Yes.
of, this is a very traditional perception, and it's not untrue that a lot of forests were actually cut or cleared to make open space available for intensive coffee cultivation, which is how, in fact, growers manage to produce the kind of volumes of coffee that
producing correctly.
that this global population demands today.
Right.
But the whole transition, or the whole focus on specialty coffee now, is a very welcome change in traditional picture of coffee, where you have open to sky, massive coffee plantations,
Correct.
which have been grown at the cost of deforestation, of removing the forest.
Right.
Specialty coffee, in fact, is changing that entire picture.
Amazing. Lovely.
So the
Wow.
coffee is almost ready.
Yeah, we just waiting
And,
for the.
Yeah, if you notice, I made 4
Percolate.
cups because the 4th cup is for you. Make sure that you, follow the recipe. This is a beautiful tricolate. I got this from Benki Brewing Tools. Big shout out to them. Thank you. And I think we've kind of brewed. What I like about the tricolate is, it's kind of like a marriage between the V60 and AeroPress, and of course with the
mellow drip,
mellow drip.
with a touch of mellow drip,
touch of mellow drip,
for the
yes.
shower screen. Yeah.
And so we are good to go. I'm just gonna put this away, and
So, by the time Caleb prepares the drinks for us to taste it, I want to ask a few questions. What made you, I'll rephrase. What's your favorite go-to coffee?
Wow, that's a difficult question, but I think
controversial one.
I think I like to try coffees that have been developed through different kinds of processing.
Right.
We are still very new in this coffee world, and still learning the ropes of good processing, fermentation,
Fair enough. Yeah.
koji fermentation,
Right.
stuff like that. So I like to try coffees where you start with a good quality bean,
Thank you.
and then the grower or the processing experts have done something really tasteful to take the good quality bean to a best quality bean. And I think I try to distinguish, like I try to split it, or a kind of I would say, I try to identify, okay, where was this coffee before the processing?
Right.
Like, what did the farming and the ecosystem and the environment, how did that contribute to the quality of the bean, and where has the processing upped the game?
Right.
And I try to kind of understand that to kind of improve what we do over here.
Right. Nice.
It's interesting, you on one side you have a planter who's been, 3 generations now,
Right.
a farmer. On one side you have somebody who's been for more than 15 years into the world of coffee, a consumer, let's say, and on the other end you have a trainer and a cafe owner. But at the end of the day, we're all students of coffee. We're all still studying coffee, still trying to understand
Right.
coffee, still trying to just get more knowledge on coffee. And I think that's what the coffee community is all about. And if you guys want to be a part of that, and if you guys just want to have that knowledge, hit us up. We would love to. In fact, I was just talking about doing a cupping session here. Imagine to cup coffees here, out here, in this beautiful place. Nitin, I think we should plan something.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah?
We should, because after the last cupping session that we had a cupping session for about 100 coffees on the on the run rather. In fact, it was we were supposed to do 300 cups, but we were so fatigued after the 100th cup. We were like, you know what? We just take a break before our brains explode. But yeah. As Caleb said, we should definitely do something here. I mean, Ashwin, we can work on it and plan some stuff where you basically gonna enjoy coffee, sitting in the nature, surrounded by the coffee. I mean, trees. I mean, the nature, everything. I mean, the food is fantastic. The nature is good. I mean, the weather is brilliant. Of course, April is a bit dry, but then I think
I enjoyed it.
But yeah, it's windy. In fact, today is windy.
Yes.
But yeah, let's work on something,
Yes.
Caleb. Let's do something about it.
And Ashwin, if somebody wants to come stay here, how do they find you?
Yeah.
Well, at the moment we have an Instagram account,
Okay.
so you can kind of
And
send us a
that's
message.
@Gorus Forest Farms, correct?
Gorus Forest
Yes,
Farm.
Gorus Forest Farm is the handle, and very soon, maybe within 2 weeks, we'll be launching our website.
Oh,
Oh,
brilliant.
nice.
So you can request a booking on the website,
Nice.
and we are very happy to receive people who have a green thumb, who have a green ear,
Right.
who have a green heart.
That's a lovely way to put it. But yes.
And
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
so yes, we are ready to receive people.
Awesome. Thank you so much.